Welcome to the podcast from the St. Louis Sportists, an occasionally smart, always irreverent look at sports in St. Louis and beyond. And now, your St. Louis Sportists.
Hello and welcome to the podcast from the St. Louis Sportists. My name is Ron Cook and I am joined by Joe Sperlin.
Good to be here. Welcome everybody, July 1st, Bobby Bo Day.
Ha ha ha! That it is. Doug Lansdowne.
Yep, happy to be here tonight. July 1st, it's hot, and the World Cup is heating up.
It is on. So we are recording this during the USA Bosnia-Herzegovina game. We're at the 3-minute mark, and we will have people down here in the Thunderdome, so you may hear some, it may start to sound like our old shows in the bistro here in a little bit. In this edition, the Cardinals enter a crucial stretch of the schedule a month ahead of the trade deadline. The Blues make a bunch of moves. Are they a better team now than they were at the end of the season? And there's a lot of ways to think about the World Cup. Joe Sperlin will drop one on you that could change the way you think about the rest of this year's tournament. St. Louis Sportists are brought to you by First Coast Steel Buildings. Jason and his team will take your project, from design to completion with a family-first approach. Learn more at stcoaststeel.com, and we'll hear more from Jason. We won't hear from Jason later in the show. We're going to hear from Jason right now.
Hey, everybody.
All right.
It's great to be in studio. And just for the celebration that you were just talking about, I got a little lemon raspberry cake here from Labonne Bouchee in St. Louis to celebrate Bobby Bonilla Day. And it says Happy Bobby Bonilla Day on it.
Beautiful.
On a white chocolate. I got to talk to the owner, Brian, today, and even got, I think, Ron, hopefully you'll post the St. Louis Sportists logo macaroons that Brian gave us as well. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah, they're upstairs and out of dog range, I'm pleased to report.
There you go.
You can't beat some St. Louis Sportists macaroons from Labonne Bouchee. So, anyway.
Elevating.
Always good to be here. And again, you guys do a great show. And, I think we got some new fans, too. Brian was excited. And like I said, I'm excited to have the Bobby Bonilla special cake later.
Yes, we will show that later in this episode. Tonight's last call is brought to you by Black Dog Consulting, LLC, here to help the one-truck owner and the small fleet owner to grow and prosper. Contact Dave at 417-217-9622. Black Dog Consulting is helping you retrieve bigger profits. You know, folks, if you have a minute to follow us, click that little follow button. You get the episodes as they come out. It's great. You can like us. We're on all of the socials. We're on the gram. We're very active on the gram lately. We have started an international incident, folks. This one with Jen. There's people talking smack and getting into fights, and oh my gosh! But again, we're at 270,000
views. True World Cup experience, then.
It is. It is. We're bringing the world together or tearing it apart, one or the other. With that, let's lead it off with quick hits, Joe Sperlin. I bet I know where you're going. I just kind of got it, as Paul McCartney once sang, I got a feeling.
All right. In 1999, the New York Mets owed Bobby Bonilla $5.9 million. Now, some of the history on this, the Mets invested with a guy named Bernie Madoff, who told them they could double their money. And without a doubt, and all of a sudden something come up where the Mets financially could not make those payments for some reason. So they said that $5.9 million at 8% interest come out to $30 million that they started paying in 2011. And will continue till 2035. You also know that Bobby Bo gets $500,000 from the Orioles.
I did not know this.
Orioles.
Yeah.
The Orioles till 28. Now, they did not owe as much, but they said, yeah, we'll do the same thing. So that's till 2028. Do you know that the Mets also paid Brett Saberhagen for 25 years, but he only gets $250,000 till 2029?
Yeah.
The Mets made a bad decision with this this Madoff guy. So
it seemed like
they
a
weren't
nice
the only
guy.
one. They weren't
Yeah,
the
I'm
only
about
one.
to
Now,
say-
if I can interject, though, one thing I read today, because it's such a special day, Bobby Bo Day, and we have the cake, as we talked about. But, that they were able to afford Mike Hampton that year, who did get them to the World Series, who then did sign the next year for 121 to Colorado, but who got them the 38th compensation pick, which ended up being one David Wright.
there you go.
So,
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, maybe this really is a celebration of a Bobby Bo Day. I don't know. Just throwing that out to the Sportists.
And as we were driving my lovely wife to one of her many doctor appointments today, Doug Lansdowne, I said, Bobby Bo was a Cardinal, and he was breaking camp one year, and his hammy came up bad, and this kid that was tearing it up in spring training that they had ticketed to Memphis, they're like, all right, we're going to need you, Mr.
Albert Pujols, who
Yes,
again, just bringing it all back to circle because of the St. Louis Sportists, talking to Brian today at Labonne Bouchee, the owner. Albert was just in there 2 days ago. I'm not kidding you. He goes, Albert Pujols was just in here. So he actually knew what it was, because I thought, I'm going to go up here and I'm going to order a Bobby Bo, Happy Bobby Bo Day cake. And they're going to go, who is this? Yeah. He knew, and he's like going, yeah, Albert was just in here. So maybe it was a good thing for the Cardinals. So there you go.
Amazing. It all comes full circle, Joe Sperlin.
Maybe Albert was ordering the Bobby Bo. Maybe Albert was ordering the Bobby Bo cookies and cake
there
too.
You go.
He was celebrating. He's celebrating tonight.
Perfect. Douglas, what do you have?
We don't talk a lot of NBA, and I don't look or
Thank
watch,
God.
any of that. But I was, thank God. I was reading that Jaylen Brown got traded, when he won the MVP in the finals a few years back and everything. And they said the key to that trade was getting the 76ers first round pick in 2032 and 2033. Because they talked about how valuable that is.
Really?
How in the hell is that? How in the hell is that valuable that far out? I don't understand that. But they said that was
the middle schools.
Exactly.
Damon
that
Bailey.
Was the key.
They've
got
reading the
Damon
recruiting
Bailey.
sheets. Yeah, the recruiting sheets.
That was the key to the trade. So I don't.
Doug, speaking of the NBA with the free agency, I love the NBA free agencies because they'll say some guy signed a 6-year contract for $182 million, and I'll go, who in the hell is that?
Yep.
I don't even remember that dude in college.
Do not remember him in college.
No.
Nope.
Yeah.
No. Well, and you just wonder if they're playing 4D chess and like Allen Iverson, the third or whatever is like going to be in the draft, that year in 2033 or something. Or that'll be his one and done year, Boy, I don't know. I'm going to go to the hydration breaks. Our favorite thing in the our favorite new thing in the World Cup. And Jason, you're a businessman. Tell me if this sounds like a good deal. The rights for the Fox network to buy for the World Cup, they're estimating between $400 and $500 million. Okay, now that's something, right? The revenue that the Fox network is bringing in from just commercials on the hydration breaks, between 400 and 500. They have paid for their sponsorship with their hydration break commercials.
Wow, that's.
Hydration breaks are here to stay, people. There is, according to some people, the MLS may make them mandatory in every game as soon as they start up in July. They think that every league around the globe will do this, but the Premier League will do it last because it seems like an American idea.
I can see that, yeah.
Oh, those snobby Brits, of which I am one. Oh, but Jason, you have anything on your mind?
Nope.
Yep. Okay. Well, then let's get into these St. Louis Cardinals who we have on screen 3 over here right now. They sit at 44 wins, 38 losses. They're 4-6 in their last 10, in second place, 7.5 behind the Brewers, and alarmingly and disgustingly, 2 behind the Cubs. And they've fallen into a tie with the Marlins for the final wild card spot, which isn't really a tie because the Marlins won the season series, and in this new world order, they would be in and the Cardinals would not. Just over the halfway point of the season, Doug. We got a pretty bad, or I shouldn't say bad. We got a challenging schedule coming up here.
I still think you're tickled with everything that's happened, and you want them to see them win, and they've spoiled us the last few months because they do play so hard. They still were 1 game above 500 in June, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah, and it seemed like, my gosh, they're scuffling or they're having issues or trouble, but I mean, still 1 game over 500, and look at all the ones that were supposed to be really good this year who are still under 500. So even if they stumble along here and finish lower than what they are now and stuff, I still think this season's been a bonus in many, many ways.
It could be worse. You could be a Met fan.
That's true. Could be a Met.
Yeah. Hey, Matthew Liberatore needed a big game last night, and boy, did he step up, Joe Sperlin. He struck out 9, 1 off of his career high. I don't know if we're convinced that the rotation is quote unquote fixed, but hey, that was good to see.
Well, yeah, like you said, struggling a little bit, and then you get a great pitching performance. There you go. And that's what you need.
It is, and it's like I heard someone on St. Louis radio, Jason, say today, every time you think this team is teetering on the verge of collapse, they come up with a big win.
They do. Yeah. They do.
So,
I saw today where they have I cannot remember the pitcher's name. You guys probably, but they had a pitcher and a catcher in the futures game. So, not a bad combo to have.
No, Liam Doyle, who has actually been a guy, Doug, that we've been watching for a while out of Tennessee, the first round draft pick last year.
Yep.
Lefty, throws hard. Just kind of watching what he's doing, though. I think that he spends the year down in the minors.
Yeah.
I think that was the plan for him the whole time. And early on, like we talked about, when he was getting hit, supposedly, the first 6 weeks, all his starts, they said, we don't care what happens. We want you to throw these pitches, work on this pitch, work on that. So, yeah, I don't think Bloom had any other plan but him to be in the minors this whole year.
He is the ultimate of a future because he is not tearing it up here in Springfield.
No.
So, I mean, when they're sitting there saying, hey, this guy has a future, yeah.
And to tie it all back together again, Jason Reynel Rodriguez, the other guy that made it.
I was going to say, yep.
He's the one that they say he's the closest thing they've seen to a Pujols since Pujols, and he's a catcher.
I say, well, they keep him a catcher to make him last. I don't know.
That's a good question, because we've got the Phillies game on over here, and you think of Bryce Harper now playing first base. It might be a little less wear and tear to move him to first base.
Somebody like Salvi, who's along, probably the next long catcher after Yachty, and he's doing DHing and playing some first base now too. So but
Doug, Jordan Walker, 28 strikeouts in June and 3 walks.
Yeah,
he went back. Good.
I think he hit some balls and didn't get any luck and was in a little bit of slump, and he looked like he started chasing again. Chasing down a lot of pitches. Yep. So he's getting ready to say that one that's low and away. He chases that thing every time. So it looked like he started chasing. Now he got a hit. He got a hit last night, didn't he? And I think he knocked the run in, and he knocked the run in a while ago too, didn't he? So
he's in Atlanta, so he's down home.
Right. Yeah. With any player, I mean, just pressing and stuff. But like I said, it's still everything's a bonus. Now, if July and August look just like June for him, then I think, you got to worry again. So, but what he's given you so far has been a huge bonus.
Joe, there was a movie a few years ago. I think it was with Dustin Hoffman called Outbreak. And we talked about how Riley O'Brien was giving us all, acid indigestion. Now it's the whole bullpen. It's like the outbreak has spread to the whole bullpen.
Yeah. It is contagious, or they think that's how they're supposed to make it exciting.
It's like every time I looked up last night, Doug, in the last few innings, there were multiple guys on, and the pitcher was like behind 2-0.
And that has been the MO the last few years.
Goalkeepers down for the USA opponent, by the way.
Exactly. I swear, for the last 2 years, every time a relief pitcher came in, it was a ball to begin with every time.
Yeah. Well, and now between whoever we have behind the plate, we seem to be mastering the wild pitches or the passed balls that are just squirting away when we turn first and second into second and third pretty regularly too.
They look like they're crossed up part of the time. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not one of those deals where they're missing it by a foot. So
yeah.
They really
was supposed to take care of that.
PitchCom was supposed to.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Our old friend John Mozeliak, Jason. I did not see that coming. He decides he's going to go to the Angels.
That was, yeah. Couldn't he have done that a few years ago for us? Maybe
that would have been nice.
I mean, I'm just saying. Why wait?
Taking his sweater around the neck and his dress shoes with no socks and gone to California. He'll fit in great there, won't he, Doug?
He will fit in great there. I mean, they have not had a plan for 5-6 years. So, and he didn't have a plan the last 5 or 6 years here. So it's a perfect fit.
No, yeah, it is. It is. Hey, around the league, Joe Wilson Contrares has had an interesting week or so. An Instagram comment, someone questioned his manhood by putting the letter P and a few asterisks, and Wilson responded by saying, "Come meet me at Fenway Park," to the poster. Major League Baseball is excited about that one, Joe.
Hey, here's the problem. If the old boy says I'm out there, Wilson may go outside and there may be thousands of people waiting to whip his ass. That may be his problem. Everybody wants a piece of them the way the Red Sox have been playing. So, that's the social media. You can't get the last word. Don't even try it. Don't try to battle it. The only person winning social media is Sophie Cunningham. So
there you go, and we'll get to her in a minute. But Joe, it would turn into that thing in Skidmore, Missouri, where the whole town killed a guy, and no one remember they kept the secret for like years and years.
Yep.
There was a really good documentary on that. And then last night, Doug, he gets struck. He's struck out by Cade Cavalli. Who tells him to sit down. Well, he didn't stop there. Sit down, boy. Wilson took some offense to that.
Wilson didn't like that very well. Yeah.
But did you see what Wilson did previously when he was on the base pass? Oh, you didn't see that? So he's on second, I think, or third, and the inning ends, or maybe he got forced. Anyway, he's running the bases. And he runs like right in front of Cavalli and like brushes him as he goes by. So that's what started all of it.
Gives him the shoulder.
Yep. That's what started all of it. Like Cavalli said, and you can see him just brush him as he goes by. So, to Cavalli's credit, I mean, he could have thrown at him if he wanted to, but
that's true.
Strikes him out and says, "Sit down, boy."
and instead of drilling you in the ribs, I am going to strike you out and then taunt you.
Yeah,
that's much better. So this story in The Athletic, I don't know if anyone has seen this. They think there's problems with the baseballs. All the baseballs they're getting from Rawlings now have a odd yellow tint. And by the way, they started flying out of the park in June at a rate not seen since 2019, back when they set all of the home run records.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is there unrest in Haiti? Anyone? because that was
Did the mud dry up? I thought it's all about the mud.
the Chesapeake mud.
Yes.
The mud from Chesapeake Bay.
Yeah.
Folks, we're not making this up.
We're
They
not.
use mud from Chesapeake Bay on every baseball in the major leagues.
right.
But no, we lived. So Joe and Doug and I lived in a town with one of the 3 Rawlings plants, which was Ava, Willow Springs, and then I had to actually prepare myself to tell Jamie that the third one was in a town called Licking.
Licking.
That's right.
Licking, Missouri. But one of the years in the late 80s when they had the ball jumping out of the park, there was like a revolution in Haiti, and the rumor was that the people were so stressed that they were sewing the balls tighter, so they were like harder and flying. I don't know if that's going on now.
Right. Yeah.
Hey, Joe, Dave Roberts has 1,000 wins now, which seems, I guess when you've got that team, that helps. He's won World Series. He's got 1,000 wins. He's starting to look pretty darn good for the Hall of Fame, don't you think?
Yeah, they keep. Yeah, you got the best team. You're usually the manager's going to win some games.
It worked for Torrey.
Best team money can buy. That's kind of how that works.
Joe Torre was an okay manager until he got to the Yankees. You know,
Yeah.
that helped.
That helped.
Yeah.
But when you talk about Dave Roberts, and I'm glad you guys brought it up, because I was thinking about, are the Dodgers headed to their own Bobby Bo day with Shotani eventually? I mean, how much of his is deferred? Now, they don't have a Bernie Madoff
that we know
of, but
Not yet.
Not yet.
They-
with guaranteed
did-
double digits.
They did say that would be mostly deferred, but they have not established the groundwork of those payments.
Yeah.
Well, and that's allegedly a big sticking point in the current labor negotiations as well. Is
how the first. Yeah, I can. It's interesting. I mean, it made me think about when I was doing all of this today for the show. I was thinking, will they have an issue? I mean, they're going to have an issue. How will they address the issue? And maybe it's just 1,000 times luxury tax. I don't know. But
well, and how comfortable would you feel taking deferred payments from the Pirates?
Sure.
Just throwing that out. MLB correspondent at large Joe Sperlin, what's going on around the league?
Well, I feel partly responsible about the Cubs going 9-1 in their last 10 because I think I was the one saying they're pitching. They're running out of pitching. They got 2 pitchers hurt, so may not hear from them again.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about Miami, they went 20-6 in June, 20 wins, and the Brewers
got
7-3. I mean,
the Marlins have some really good players too. I mean, they're a salty ball club.
Second lowest payroll in baseball.
Yeah.
Now, if the Cardinals were somehow moved over to the American League, they would be in first place in the Central and the West. The West by several games, probably about 6. So,
oh yeah. Yeah, we were watching the Angels and the Mariners last night. Yeah, Mike Myers on the scene too. We said there would be all sorts of special. Hey, Mike, we may have you back for the Blues segment. So yeah.
Hey, and I was sitting here thinking about the trade deadline. The trade deadline. Did the Cardinals just say, "Hey, let's play with these young guys and let's see what happens"?
I think so.
Let's try for some veterans and see what we can get, or just say, "Hey, let's go with these young guys and see what they do."
Well, the talk has been that Nootbaar is gone. Like, there's really no way that they're going to hang on to him. And the fact that he keeps driving, they're showing him on the screen right now, as his value continues to increase because he's hitting for average, he's getting on base, he's playing good defense, he's got pop, and there's no shortage of playoff teams right now that need outfielders. I mean, so again, the negotiations start very high, I would have to believe.
He's a glue guy. Got to have him.
It's very important. Very important. And with that, it is time for Loose Ends. We need new Loose Ends music. I need to come up with something there. Doug, Sergio Garcia, leave it to him. He had a very bad round of golf, and he blamed it on bad lasagna.
They played good the
Which
first day.
Sperlin and I
2-day
said,
qualifying.
yeah. Now, Spur and
Yeah,
I said
2-day
bad lasagna sounds like a band or an album title.
Yeah.
2-day qualifying to get into the Open Championship. Plays good the first day, plays bad the second day. Sergio is the ultimate looking for the gray cloud guy and the ultimate excuse guy. So, and he's one of those when Liv finally spits the bit and goes belly up here in a few more months, he's one of those guys. He's never ever going to get into an event on the PGA Tour, especially, I mean, with the new structure in 28. Just like I said, all these old foreigners with bad teeth who went to this league that are in their 40s and nobody knows what happened to them. You're never going to see those guys again.
Oh, that's good.
Doug, is he one of those guys that could be having just a fine round and then like he hits one bad shot and like implodes from there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And, the U.S. fans, like we talked about, turned on Wyndham Clark because he had bad behavior a time or two. Sergio he's hit spectators, he's hit marshals, he spit at people, I mean, so yeah, he and that's the only way he can get attention nowadays is stuff like that, bad lasagna. So
taking what 2 minutes to address a shot and hit a shot. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh dear. Hey, Serena Williams was coming back, and that comeback lasted one match. She did make it to a third match, Joe Sperlin, but as a geezer with bad Achilles, or having to constantly watch our Achilles, I was hoping for a little bit more.
I kind of got what I was expecting,
Back in the day, it seems like Wimbledon was a much bigger deal in terms of like we knew the 4 or 5 guys that were like favorites. And, I couldn't tell you 4 or 5 guys that are in it right now.
No, you're right. I think even on the women's side, back in the day, you had, you had the Williams and Steffi and, all back and back and back. And now I'm watching the number 3 that I don't even know who that was going against the American. Didn't know who that was. And
yeah.
Well, they're on center court, and it's like, wow, okay.
And Doug, you back in our, let's take it back a little bit even more. You had the rivalries. You had the Connors McEnroe and the Connors Borg, and you had the Chris Everett and Martina, and those were like heavyweight fights that you looked forward to.
Yeah, and you're right. There's no rivalries now, and I think what really hurt tennis is, hell, on the men's side, you went on a 10-year run there where the same 3 guys won all the majors. Yeah. Nadal, hadn't he won like 19 French Opens or something like that?
It seems like it.
Go,
yeah.
USA!
Go
USA!
Up. We have a flag.
We got a flag. We got a flag.
We're offside. We're offside.
Oh no!
Bah. Hey, Mike, there's pizza over here. Anyway. Oh, and it was off of the high press too.
Yeah.
How was that guy outside? Oh,
there
it is.
Mm-hmm.
Dang it.
Yep.
Sorry, guys.
Oh no.
I was excited there.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's one we warned people.
There he is with the flag.
Yeah. Where's it? Where's this officiating crew from?
Yeah, is this an SEC crew, Joe?
This is an ACC crew without a doubt.
I don't know.
I don't know
Joe,
about that.
I want to go back to a point that you made. Sophie Cunningham has won the internet. It's the point heard around the world.
It is it's amazing that of all the things that have come in there, the funniest one may have been her pointing, and they put in of Trump pointing back at her.
Yes.
And then her pointing again, and then Trump sitting there doing this, and I'm like, that was funny. So anyway,
I thought the Nick Shirley one was pretty good too, though.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see that one, Joe?
No.
Nick Shirley, that the one the reporter who blew up the Minnesota fraud cases. He's in there.
Okay, I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, that was a good one.
My favorite was the one where they replaced George Washington crossing the Delaware, and she was pointing. She was standing on the boat, pointing across the Delaware. That was pretty good too.
Yeah, that was good.
That was pretty good too.
Did I see something that WNBA jerseys, Caitlin and Sophie have 71% of jersey sales?
Not Angel Reese. I'm shocked.
No.
Oh.
That's amazing.
The NBA's got a little bit of an issue in term, and Keith touched on this last week in terms of the fact they're letting Caitlin Clark basically be, assaulted. Thank you, Mike.
Yeah.
And they've got to figure out how they're going to handle that.
They do. And I heard somebody the other day try to make a comparison when Jordan first came to the league that, he kind of went through that. But, and now Chuck Daly would tell you definitely, because then became what? The Jordan rules.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But, I don't know.
All right. And our final loose end of the night, to quote Gerald R. Ford, which we don't do nearly enough, our long national nightmare is over. Brendan Sorsby is going to enter the 2027 draft, and we will not hear from him again. Or will we? Or will we, Joe?
Not until 2027 NFL draft time.
That would be nice. That's been crazy.
I got nuts quick, yeah.
But, Doug, there is good news. Paramount Plus has been in Lubbock filming a documentary on the off-season for Texas Tech this entire time. So the whole thing is going to be documented in a series coming up. So stay tuned. That's a reason to subscribe to Paramount Plus if you're not already.
And they will get the viewers. People will stream it for sure.
I think so. And with that, it's time to hear from the good folks at First Coast Steel Buildings. Hey, look, we're going to give Sandra Templeoff the week off. Sandra, you get the week off. Hey, son, how are things going at First Coast Steel Buildings?
Things are good. I mean, steel market's kind of, having some tough times with the tariffs. I mean, no foreign steel's coming in, so that's a good thing. But of course, U.S. markets are now going up due to that. But again, we've still got plenty of steel and plenty of demand. And again, you can have your building designed by someone on our team, and we have that to you engineered, designed, stamped, and everything in about 4 weeks. So
that's and that's one of the things when we first started talking about this. I mean, the fact that you do custom stuff. So like if Joe Sperlin has a backyard with X amount of space and wants something, you can custom build
everything.
You can custom build a shed for Rhonda.
Yep.
Joe.
Everything is custom to whatever that need is, where it's going, what it's used for. So Yep.
Well, that's great stuff. They can catch you at 1stcoast.com. You have a phone number as well?
I do. It's 912-314-4848. So we got a little, 314 in there for
I
the
like that
area. Yeah,
I like that.
I like that.
So with that, Joe Sperlin, you came up with something for the World Cup that borders. No, it doesn't border. It is brilliant beyond all imagination. Would you like to tell us about? Have you named it first? Because I've thought of a couple names.
No, I have not named it. I just call it the World Cup bracket. Okay, so as I'm keeping up with the World Cup more than usual. So I'm sitting there and I hear that they said France is the favorite. 300-1, Argentina's 400-1, England's 700-1, and I'm sitting there thinking, okay, so this is not a power rankings. This is actually people that the professionals and the public think are going to win this. And I'm sitting there thinking, well, so how much are we comparing these? I mean, England, if I wanted to go with England, what would I think? And I'm going, well, I'm going to compare this to the people. Who is England? Well, they're the 4th ranked team to win it. So they're the Texas of this World Cup. Because the number 1 favorite to win the NCAA championship this year is Ohio State, and Notre Dame is 2. Indiana, which still shocks me to this day, saying is number 3. Well, who are the other 32 teams? So instead of doing a ranking, I took the current World Cup teams, ranked them 1 to 32 by their odds of winning it, and I took the top 32 teams from NCAA college football of winning it, and I made my own World Cup bracket, filling those in with college football teams. So,
I
for
like it.
example, Ron's team, LSU, would be number 10. So they were Norway, who they beat the Ivory Coast, which was BYU. So yeah, okay. Well, how about you Mizzou fans? Where was Mizzou? Unfortunately, Mizzou was 23rd. They were Sweden. And who did they get to play? The number 1 Ohio State, or France.
France.
Yes. So we had some upsets, obviously. Paraguay. Now, this is why I didn't do Paraguay's odds to win the World Cup is 50,000 to 1. Now, if I would have picked a college football team that was 50,000 to 1 in this bracket, that would have been Colorado or Wake Forest. So that's why I just took the top 32 teams. So yeah, that was my very own Florida State Seminoles that 28 beat number 8 seed Texas A&M, just like Paraguay beat Germany. And I love the people this past week that said Germany and Japan haven't had this bad of a week since 1945. So
that's
anyway,
good stuff.
yeah. So,
okay.
Ron, as I told Ron, what makes this even better? Who is USA in my college football World Cup? There can only be one team, Ron.
And it is
Alabama. Is there anything more America, Paul, than freaking Alabama? Tom's on, just in time.
Tom Mathis is on the scene. How are you, sir?
Good. How you guys doing?
We're outstanding. Your timing. You just missed Joe's explanation that you'll hear on the pod, and you'll be blown away by it.
Can't wait.
So there's nothing more America than Alabama.
Freebird.
Yeah, and they're playing this Bosnia team.
Yeah.
Well, when I think of Bosnia, I think of no offense. Iowa. They're the 29 ranked team, Iowa. So as I said, listen to these Sweet 16 matchups now. And I'm sure, by the way, the World Cup cannot call it Sweet 16. We know the NCAA's got that copyrighted.
Right.
The round of 16, Ron. Your LSU will be playing number 6, Brazil. Nope, that's Georgia.
Ooh.
England, New Mexico, or excuse me, not New Mexico. I almost said New England and New Mexico. Mexico and England, the originals. That is OU versus Texas.
Red River for you, man.
Yeah.
Yep. So, hey, and this is what I'm going to tell you. Whoever wins this World Cup, the college football team, that is the team I'm picking and will be wagering on to win the national championship.
That's
you go. How confident I am in this.
I like that.
I like that.
That's just absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And folks, we'll post this on our website and on our Facebook page so you can see it, because it's just pretty amazing. That we had 2 games that went to overtime on Monday, or extra time, I should say. There was no what they called golden goal. They can't even use sudden death.
No, they can't.
I mean, punks. The penalty kick percentage for the day was 54%, Tom Mathis. In the MLS, the percentage for a penalty kick is 71. I think the goal got smaller a little bit for those kickers.
The goal got smaller and the throats got tighter. I mean,
That's what I was going to say.
Throats. I mean, those guys. I mean, Germany. I'm sorry, I can't remember who Germany was playing now. But those guys.
It was Florida State.
Florida State.
No, Paraguay.
That's right. They had 2 shots to win it, They were up 3-2 in 2 shots, and they missed them both. I mean, I'm surprised they ended up winning.
Yeah. Well, and that's when we said in our text chat, Jason, we said that's like when you have a 16 versus 1 in March Madness and you think the 16's got a chance.
Got a chance.
But when they miss those 2 kicks, you're like, oh, okay.
They're in trouble.
All right. Georgetown's going to beat Princeton in the end.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, Doug, I have a question for you as someone who didn't watch like a ton of soccer. Are you watching like the same amount you thought you would, less, more, in between? Like, have you been caught up in World Cup fever, or is it just kind of still out there?
So I told Joe earlier that I have watched even more than I thought I would. So,
Wow.
and those penalty kicks Monday, that was cool. That was cool. So, and I'm not a frequent fan, and I don't understand the game that much. But when I do get to watch it, no matter who it is, everything, and the ball gets down by the goal, every time I'm like, oh, yeah. So, But no, I've enjoyed it. Like I said, I've watched quite a bit more than I thought I would.
Yeah. 17 million watched the last U.S.-Turkey game. And just for a little perspective, that is more than the SEC championship, and it beat games 1 and 2 of the NBA Finals.
Wow.
So if someone says no one's watching soccer, USA, USA.
Yeah.
This is amazing how much. I don't know if I've hit something, how much faster you guys are in front of me on DirecTV than YouTube TV.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
So I stream all my stuff, and you're ahead of me.
Yeah. Well, you'd better be watching, is all I can say.
Oh, that's the same guy that scored the last goal.
Yes. The goal that didn't count. The goal that didn't count. Joe, what about you as a guy that wasn't a big soccer fan?
Hey, I told Doug I have watched more World Cup this year than ever. Because, Ron, before this, I have watched 0.
Yeah. Jason?
So there you go.
A lot more. Yeah. No, most definitely. I mean, and again, part of it, I think, is having it in our own country. And you can't help but get, I mean, you see the ad. I mean, you see basically the ads for Buc-ee's and Texas barbecue. And I mean, it's exciting. I mean, people showing up to the mall in DC and, celebrating our 250 and then meeting the president. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
What's going on for people over here. But, I'm glad they're enjoying themselves. I mean, marching in downtown, Miami, and, doing their row, and it's great.
And Kansas City, did you see
Kansas City?
The now dearly departed folks from the Netherlands?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Tom Mathis, what about you?
I watch as much as I can. I probably not as much as I'd like, but as much as I can, especially now that they're in the knockout stage. There's just something when it's win or lose, win or go home. It's pretty cool. So, especially right now, I'm watching a lot. The Monday or Tuesday, that was incredible. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it really was. Well, and man, when you get into those shootouts, that's a tension convention. That's a very unique brand.
It's all on the line. Yeah,
and it's a horrible way to lose, but it's pretty cool to watch.
Yeah. Well, we saw the one guy just literally laying on the ground sobbing. I mean, my goodness gracious. It's because we were talking, Mike Meyer, our buddy, is here, and we said that, there's going to be some guy that when he's like 55 or something, someone's going to go to him in a bar and say, oh, yeah, you're the guy that missed that kick in the shootout there back in the World Cup in 26.
Or you're the goalie that guessed totally the wrong guy. I mean,
guessed wrong.
How bad did you feel for that guy? I mean, I'm going to go right. Oh, he's going left.
Well, wasn't it about 20, 30 years ago where a South American player went home after the World Cup and he was killed?
He was
Yes,
found in a
Tom, I
trunk
remember that.
outside of a nightclub. And by the way, if you want to watch that, Jen and I talked about that on our episode. It's called The Two Escobars. It's
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
some people believe it is one of the best 30 for 30s that they have ever made in the series. It is. And the other one is Pablo, and we talked about the fact that he poured all the money into his team, and he would have them come up to his estate and practice, and he would sit on the balcony. So, Joe, again, there we go, another Tom Clancy novel.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hey Tom, we moved the blues talk till the end, just in case you would join us. So the McTavish acquisition came down the night of the draft. There's been a lot of differing opinions on that.
I told you guys before when we were hearing rumors, I'm not very enthusiastic about that. Not totally sold on it, but I think with the 4 picks, you almost had to do something like that. I don't think you wanted to come out of there with 4 first-round draft picks. So take the 2 you did, make a trade. He seems like, a couple years ago, he had a really good year. Last year was pretty rough. So maybe he'll come in here and work with Monty, be a little bit different for him. So, and he seems like he understands what he needs to work on. So he's working on his foot speed, his skating speed, and his defense. So, he seems to be going at it with a good attitude. He think the Anaheim fans, I saw that newspaper ad. So, maybe he understands what he did.
Yeah. And 23, if he's a number 3 overall pick at age 23, there's got to be some upside there. You hope he's not a Logan Brown or Zach Dean or one of those. It seems like there's the bust potential for those first round picks is kind of crazy in hockey.
It really is. And that's why I don't think you wanted to draft 4 of them, especially at 29. If you could do 15 and 29 for him, I think that was a pretty good flip. And
I think it was too.
Yeah. So if he comes in here and does a great job, it'll be a great trade.
Yeah. So the Alexander Steen era is here after Doug Armstrong had one of the greatest runs in certainly he will go down in Blues history. What do you expect? What do you look for different from Steen instead of Armstrong?
Steen's going to have to just develop his own core, but his own the playing style that he wants guys to be. I don't think it's going to differ a whole lot, from what Army had, because that's who his mentor is. But there will be things, and I'm sure there's things that Steen has thought, when he was in the locker room, and now it's like, what if we did this different? And they've already did a buyout, which Armstrong would never do. So
Never.
Jonathan Drouin is no longer with the team. So, and all it is a 1.3 cap hit for this year and next year. So, he was just going to take up a roster spot. So you might as well just buy him out and be done with it.
Yeah, and the cap's probably going to go up that much each year,
right?
So it'll be like revenue neutral. And final Blues question here: are they a better team now than they were at the end of the year?
I think so. If they are able to sign McMichael, I think that's going to be big. And I've seen a lot of offer sheets come out, not a lot, but a few offer sheets come out today. So, they got to get in and negotiate with him and, get him signed for a couple years. But I think they are. I think one thing that makes them better is their younger players are going to have an extra year of experience. Between Snuggerud, between Jake, between Dvorsky, all these guys are getting an extra year. So, it just builds on. I think Thomas, it wouldn't surprise me if they name him the captain. I think that they're really wanting to make him the face of the franchise right now. And so that wouldn't be, I think him being happy and appreciated, him and Parayko both, no, they're not going to go anywhere right now. So I think all those combined, they're going to be a better team. Are they good enough to make the playoffs? Well, last year I had like 5 guys scoring 30 goals, so I'm not sure if I can be a good testament for that right now.
The next time Keith is on, we're going to go over our Blues predictions for last year, and it's going to be I might have to excuse myself.
I was going to say I'm calling
just-
in that episode, so
I'll just leave it at that. And with that, we've reached the last call, brought to you by Black Dog Consulting. And with over 38 years in the transportation industry, Dave knows where to look to find those pennies per mile that make the difference between just getting by and profit and growth. From one-truck operations to small fleet owners, he has the proven multi-million-dollar track record to help you retrieve bigger profits. Contact Dave at 417-217-9622 or David at blackdogconsultingllc.net. You can also check out his website at blackdogconsulting.net. Your last call is going to be the cake. We have to show the cake.
Okay. I will get the cake ready.
We have to get the cake ready. Joe Sperlin, what's your last call?
Well, in honor of Tom making in here late, it's going to be a double. And the first one's going to be soccer related. By the way, if FIFA has a concussion protocol, that young man from USA is in it, as he got
we got a little
jacked
knuckle
in the
junction
jaw
right now. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Now that guy, he's flopped. They're acting like, oh, we got a scuffle.
Yeah, a little knuckle junction on the pitch.
A young man said to me today, soccer player, 18 years old. He says, hey, Joe, you've been watching the World Cup? And I said, yeah, I've been watching a little bit of it. And he says, hey, if Messi scores in this next game, scores a goal, I win $135 in a parlay.
nice.
And I said, well, good for you. I'm like, thank you, DraftKings, whatever that is. But Ron, I have always said, you young listeners, go to law school. And Ron, this came from you. The NCAA's latest tax return showed it spent $63.5 million on legal fees in the fiscal year of 25, bringing the 5-year spending total to nearly $300 million.
Jeez.
And the NCAA also spent $372.4 million in legal settlements alone from that. So, Ron, I'll do the math for you. That's over 400, about 435
million. Oh my gosh,
millions.
That's just
go to law
insane.
School, kids.
Yeah,
go to law school.
Absolutely insane. Ah, and what have they resolved? I swear, I don't know. Doug Lansdowne, what do you have?
On this date in 1979, Sony officially released the first Walkman cassette player.
Boom.
How big was that to all of us?
Yeah.
The Sony cassette Walkman. Yep. So
it made running very different.
Yes, it did. It changed a lot of stuff. So yep.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a game changer. And then in the 80s, they briefly came out with the Watchman. Remember that one?
Yep.
Where you could watch TV.
Yeah.
That one was not nearly as successful.
No.
Not nearly as successful. Tom Mathis, what do you have?
So I know you guys talked about Matthew Liberatore in the Cardinals section. Is that right? Did you discuss his catcher last night?
We did not.
So Ivan Herrera caught him for the first time since like 2024, and there was a design moment. They wanted him to be the catcher. They thought that they could get together and work, do a pretty good job. And I read earlier where at one point Herrera wanted to call a curveball, but he knew that Liberatore's hands were too sweaty, so he changed the pitch to something else. So there is something to that. I'll be interested to see if that continues. If them staying together, because Herrera's kind of been Pilates and May's catcher. So, that's going to be 60% of the staff that he's going to be catcher for.
Yeah. It would be nice if he threw someone out attempting to steal a base. I mean, we're still...
I was waiting for that.
That would be great.
We're still waiting on that.
But if you limit the runners, that helps.
That helps too. That helps too. No, and then the other thing I heard, Tom, today was they were talking about now you've got to balance when you go against a lefty because, with Jimmy Crooks, you don't want to send him up against a left-handed starter too.
Right. Yeah.
So that's yet another consideration to throw in the mix.
So Herrera might be catching 4 out of 5 days the way it's going.
Well, where does that leave our buddy Pedro? I heard them trying to position him last night as like having another coach in the dugout. So maybe they make him a coach at Peoria or something.
Yeah. Well, they got
He
some
may be
catchers
with- he may
coming
be
up
packing
that
his
probably
bag
need
with
some extra
Lars.
seasoning. So
There you go, Joe. He's a throw-in when the Lars package. I like that.
Yeah.
yeah.
So for mine, the Business Journal, the Sports Business Journal, came up with a survey because you know what? You guys may or may not have heard this, but America's turning 250 years old here in a few days. And they said the question was simple. Who is America's team? 20% of respondents said the New York Yankees were America's team. Yeah, that's stomach churning. Just ahead of, thank God these guys didn't win, the Dallas Cowboys with 19%.
Oh, that would get Jerry going.
Now, I don't know about your methodology here. Okay. Pittsburgh Steelers at 14%. And then after that, and by the way, they pointed out that none of those three teams had won titles, quote, in a while.
Yeah.
So rounding out the rest, you had Dodgers and Patriots at 8. Number 6, those freaking Chicago Cubs. The Green Bay Packers, much lower than I thought, at 7%. Boston Red Sox at 6. Chicago Bulls, how about that one?
Wow.
A little residual there. I didn't see that one.
Oh, wow.
New York, and then the New York Mets at 5%. So maybe this was skewed to the Northeast. I don't.
I would say highly.
Maybe so. And so with that, Jason. With that, Jason,
I'll do my closing hit. Here you go.
If there's a way, I'm going to actually move the camera if I can here.
All right. Can we see the
That's
There it is.
great.
Labonne Bouchee?
That's awesome.
Raspberry and lemon. Happy Bobby Bonilla Day to the St. Louis Sportists. Right here at the headquarters of the St. Louis Sportists.
That's perfect.
That's the content, and folks, that's if you needed a reason to watch us on YouTube, now you have it.
That's right.
So,
You need to tag
Jason,
that.
thank you for that. Thank you for.
You need to tag the Mets into that picture.
So, Jason, thank you for joining us, sir.
Thank you guys for
Pleasure.
having me. It was a lot of fun.
We appreciate it. Tom Mathis, thank you for coming in at the last second. Nicely done.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Sorry for the slow delay timing.
No,
Doug
good.
Lansdowne, good to see you, sir.
Yep. We finished just in time. We get to watch the second half of the USA game.
Love it when a
So we're
plan
good.
comes together. And
We're
Joe
good.
Sperlin, we'll see you soon.
Jason, thanks for stopping in. And all I got to say for the second half, roll tide, go America.
I love it.
And on that note, we will see you next week on the St. Louis Sportists Podcast. And until then, take care.
And that wraps another episode of the St. Louis Sportists Podcast. Please like and subscribe to stay up to date on all the latest episodes. You can find these guys on all major podcast platforms. And thanks for listening.